South Korea's economic growth outlook for this year has been revised by the IMF, along with a moderate downgrade for the U.S. and Japan. The Asian Development Bank also raised the country's growth forecast. Our Lee Soo-jin has more.
The International Monetary Fund has upgraded its growth forecast for South Korea's economy this year to 2.5%. The IMF, which publishes its World Economic Outlook in January, April, July, and October each year, on Tuesday raised its growth outlook 0.2 percentage points from the 2.3% forecast made in April. The projection is the same as the Asia Development Bank's supplementary growth forecast released on Wednesday when it revised upward South Korea's economic outlook to 2.5% from its April report of 2.2%. And it's also the same as the Bank of Korea's forecast, but slightly lower than the anticipated growth set by the OECD, the South Korean government, and the Korea Development Institute of 2.6%. The boost in South Korea's growth forecast by both the IMF and the ADB was mostly due to its faster-than-expected growth in the first quarter of 1.3% on the back of robust exports. Exports in June saw on-year growth for the 9th straight month, with shipments of chips, the nation's largest export item, surging more than 50% compared to the previous year. As for other nations, the IMF lowered its growth forecast for the United States by 0.1% to 2.6% this year as the labor market shows increasing signs of cooling. But the growth outlook for China was hiked to 5% from 4.6% due to a rise in China's exports and a recovery in private consumption in the first quarter. Regarding the global outlook for this year, the IMF kept it steady at 3.2% with a slightly stronger growth of 3.3% for 2025. While this year's projection was kept steady, it remains tepid considering how the global economy expanded 3.8% on average before the pandemic.
Near-term risks have become more prominent. These risks may result in higher for even longer interest rates, which in turn increases external, fiscal, and financial risks. Additionally, significant swings in economic policy around election could lead to fiscal slippages and heightened protectionism.
And near-term risks aside, the IMF said that policymakers need to make it their priority to restore price stability and that strengthening multilateral cooperation is essential to addressing global challenges. Lee Soo-jin, Arirang News.